Welcome to Higher Caliber.
Welcome back to another episode of Higher Caliber Podcast. Just Jerrod today in the studio, and I'm getting ready to talk to Chris Jenner. And as some of you may know him, Chris from the 740. Chris is a content creator on YouTube. He's got a channel with over 7,000 subscribers currently and counting. He's also a USPSA competitor, and he shoots pistol caliber carbine division. And today we're going to have a little chat about how he got into growing his YouTube channel and how he got into competition and whatever else in the middle. So I hope you enjoy this episode. And we're live. What's happening, brother?
Not much, man. Thanks for the invite. I've been looking forward to this.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming on, man. So I guess my well, it's not really a question, but you are Chris from the 740, and that is your area code, because Tim asked me the other day, he's like, what does 740 mean? I'm like, it's obviously the area code. So pretty self-explanatory. At least it was to me, but maybe not to other people.
Yeah, I actually get that asked a lot, but yeah, that was the when we originally started the YouTube channel, it was called the 740 Squad channel because a bunch of guys from the area that I was traveling around shooting USPSA matches with, my son would always be there recording the matches.
Yeah.
And I would like edit these videos and then try to send them to guys. And, you know, the quality would be like awful if you tried to send it through Facebook or Instagram.
Right.
So I started using like Dropbox, but then half the guys couldn't figure out how to use that. So I was like, look, let's just start a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And we'll just put all the videos up there and then you guys can share them across social media or whatever. And that was actually what the channel was started out as.
So it started out as like a repository.
Turn into what it is now.
Yeah, it started out as a repository, basically, to just put everything in there and look at it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like a dumpster for a bunch of dumpster fire matches.
Oh man. Well, you're over 7,000 subscribers now, so congrats on that. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, thank you, man. It's this has been a crazy ride the last couple of years.
So how long have you been? So what year did you start the channel?
So I don't know. To try to find the exact date of when I started it, I'm not sure, because like if you looked, it would like go all the way back to like 2012, something like that. Because
I guess I should ask what year you actively decided to start putting out content is a better question.
So the summer of 21 is when I started actually making content. Yeah.
Okay.
COVID happened and I didn't have nothing. There wasn't really anything to do. Everything was shut down. I was going to work, coming home, and then I would just go down to the reloading room, start reloading ammo. And one of my rituals when I'm reloading is I watch gun tubers, you know.
Right. And
I just sat there and I was like, I think I can do this. So that's how it started. Just wanted to get out of the house, do something different.
Yeah.
I mean, you can only sit in the reloading room for so many hours, you know, without losing your mind after a while. So
right. And your day job is a plumber. You own your own plumbing service, right?
Correct. Yeah.
And I'm assuming during COVID, you weren't up in people's houses a lot, or I don't know how that worked for you.
It actually was the exact opposite. We were super busy because everybody was working from home.
Oh.
So we got both parents home. We've got all their kids at the house, and they're just breaking stuff left and right. So our business was just thriving during COVID.
Okay, well, that's good to hear. I guess there's a silver lining.
Yeah.
Yeah. Were you nervous about putting gun content up on YouTube with the restrictions that we saw all throughout COVID and before that? A little apprehensive, at least.
I didn't really, honestly, I didn't give it much thought.
Yeah.
But the stuff that I've learned now, like there are so many restrictions on us, what we can do, what we can't do.
Yeah.
they can change their mind on something too, snap of a finger.
Right.
So, I've been through it. Knock on wood, YouTube's been fairly easy here lately, last 6 months or so.
Yeah.
But Instagram and Facebook's like a whole different story. I'm pretty much got restrictions on all my accounts right now.
See, I find Instagram and Facebook weird. They're owned by Meta, but on Facebook, it's almost like a fascistic state. And then you go to Instagram and you see people getting beheaded on your IG feed, and you're like, is this owned by the same company? But as far as actually putting up your own content, if it's just, gun stuff, for some reason they have a problem
one
with
of the site companies that I work with, they were doing a big Easter sale, and all I did was, it wasn't, it's not a gun, it's sites, like,
yeah.
And I put up a thing on Facebook, and I automatically, they took the post down. They said I was trying to sell firearms, but my Instagram and Facebook, Chris from the 740 page, they cross feed each other. Mm-hmm. So if I post on Instagram, it's going over there automatically. Now, the funny thing was Instagram didn't care.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So, so I filed an appeal and I won. They put it back up, but I already had a restriction on Facebook. So this one was really bad because now I can't post anything at all. So luckily I got that one reversed. But yeah, they're really, really weird about, advertising for other companies on there.
Now, I didn't look, but do you use Rumble at all?
I do.
Yeah. Not nearly as many eyeballs.
Yeah. And I for a while there, about a year ago, I was making exclusive only Rumble content. Cause like I had to take all my gunsmithing videos down, all my,
oh, really?
Polymer 80 stuff. I had to remove all that from YouTube.
Yeah.
So I started uploading some of those videos to Rumble. And then, I had a lot of people would be like, well, I want to put a trigger in this Taurus TX22. It's like, okay, well, I can't show you how to do it here on YouTube.
Yeah, now you're modifying it.
Yeah. So I started doing exclusive only content over on Rumble, but it was like, I wasn't getting any hits on it.
Right.
And it's just like, I don't hardly have any time right now to run YouTube channel, let alone trying to get stuff over there too. So
yeah,
I pretty much just used it for my YouTube videos to just go over there automatically. But I guess they stopped doing that now too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think in January, Rumble and YouTube finally told Rumble, no more. You're not.
I did find that interesting when I got a Rumble page for the podcast page where you could put all your basically simulcast everything or simul upload. I thought it was a little weird that they're competitors and that was even existed, but
yeah. But if you think about it, like Odyssey has been doing that for years. I'm sure there's other ones. I know my YouTube videos go right over to my Odyssey.
Yeah.
There was another one too that I can't even think of the name of. But the problem is nobody goes over there. If it's not on YouTube, nobody's going to watch
it. Right. Do you remember the first video you made or how many videos in you were before it started actually picking up and you're like, oh, people are watching this. I'm actually getting somewhere.
Yeah, this is actually a pretty cool story. So I bought a chronograph. Mm-hmm. And we kind of had this, I called it our community chronograph. One guy was using it and then I'd use it. And I got tired of going and picking it up. So I'm like, I'll just go out and buy my own. So I bought a Pro Chrono DLX off of Amazon and I did an unboxing video on it. And then I took it out to the range to do a review. And there was a guy named Jason Stewart, who was another YouTuber, but he was actually from the same town I'm in.
Okay.
And he was looking to buy that chrono. So he was out watching reviews on it. And he saw me at the gun range and he's like, that's the gun range I go to. And so he subscribed to the channel. He thanked me for making the video and all that. And the next thing I know, like I start getting all these new subscribers. Well, I didn't know how tied into the YouTube community he was. He was a very small channel, but he knew a lot of big bigger people on YouTube. So I ended up with over 100 new subs just off of that one stupid video. And
Wow.
then I got invited on a live stream, and it was for a reloading show.
Yeah.
And it was called Echo's Reloading Chamber, which he's no longer on YouTube, but
I think I actually just watched that. I YouTubed you the other, like, couple days ago, and I'm pretty sure that was it.
yeah, yep. So that was the very first live show I ever did. And
Okay.
then so pretty much my start on YouTube was with the reloading community.
Yeah.
But in a great community that it is. But I remember coming off that show that night, and my wife was like, "Well, how did it go?" And I said, "I really liked it." She goes, "Would you do it again?" And I said, "I think I'm just going to do my own show. I want to have my own live stream." So that was how I started doing live streaming. So, it's crazy to not only have a guy help you get your YouTube channel off the ground, but then you end up finding out he's from the same town you live in, and you don't even know, we didn't know each other.
Right.
And now we're good friends. In fact, I was just talking to him right before you and I went on. So,
yeah. So you weren't, you didn't get, people either go one or two ways. They want to make their own channel, or they're never going to watch themselves talk on video again on a channel, and they're just going to completely avoid it. So I'm assuming you didn't get jitters too bad.
No, I was very nervous about going live on that guy's show for the first time.
Yeah.
As far as making videos, I guess I was never nervous because I thought no one's ever going to watch this crap. And then,
I mean, that's a very humble approach. That's a very humble approach to take. And the thing is, you're providing value to people, Yep. That's why everybody loves unboxing videos, because you're saving them money at the end of the day,
Yeah.
So you started live streaming fairly quickly then.
Yes, I think I did. So I think I uploaded my first video, like my first review video was in the summer of 21. And then I think by December, I kicked off the Wednesday night live chats.
Yeah.
And then we ended up doing close to 90 of those, I think, total. And then I finally switched to Thursday nights because I normally would have Friday off to just away from the plumbing company to do YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
So I decided we just kind of shut the show down for about a month, started it back up on Thursday nights and rebranded. And
do you guys pick a topic for that, or is it all just loosely gun related and you kind of just go?
So what I like to do now is most of the time we will have a topic.
Yeah.
But my thing's kind of been is I like bringing on other YouTube channels.
Yeah.
So I watch a lot of YouTube. So if, I'll stumble on a new gun channel and I'm like, hey, I think, my audience would like this guy or this girl. And then I'll invite them on, and it's going really well. I don't like to have the same people on the panel every week either. I like to mix that up. So I try to keep the show as fresh as I can.
Yeah.
I don't want it to, not that I'm knocking other channels, but sometimes these lives end up becoming just a hangout with you and your friends, and
right.
The side chat's just kind of there. And I don't want to do that.
Yeah. Then you're telling stories that only you two know. And
yeah. Yeah. And then the side chat's just kind of sitting out there, like, what am I listening to? So,
right.
And I like to really keep them involved because we'll have like 50 to 60 people watching it live while we're recording it. So it's, I want to keep them engaged and make sure they're having fun and enjoying themselves too.
Yeah. Week to week, do you ever feel like you're like, does it all still feel natural and you have a good time? Or is there some times where you feel like you kind of just have to make some magic happen? I mean, every week's pretty frequent.
You can just tell I wasn't into it.
Yeah.
It's so what I'm doing now is a bi-weekly show.
Okay.
I mean, I got friends, they do this 2 or 3 nights a week. And I'm like, and I'm pretty heavily into guns. Like I'm watching stuff and learning new stuff all the time. And I'm like, I sometimes can't even come up with enough content for an hour and a half to 2 hours one week or one night of the week. So,
yeah.
this biweekly thing's working better for me.
Yeah, you can recharge a little bit and you don't get as burnout. Maybe yeah, that makes sense. We've talked about doing live stuff before too, and I'm just like, I think we like talking to each other more than other people like hearing us talk. So maybe, maybe not. I was gonna say one thing that's like, as soon as you click on your channel right away, the thing that sticks out about your channel is obviously the picture and the video quality. Like you can tell. And I think I saw your son is your main camera guy. Has that been the case this whole time, or how's that work?
He's my main camera guy, like when we travel to shows. So like if we go to SHOT Show and NRAM, places like that, he's with me. Most of the gun range footage is all just me using different tripods and different cameras.
Yeah. How much how much do you like the post-production part of it? Like how much actual work do you think goes into one of your average review videos?
If I would always tell people a 10-minute video takes me 2 hours of filming at the range and then probably another 4 hours in editing.
Yeah.
But I'm weird. I guess I'm weird talking to other YouTubers, but I actually enjoy the editing part of it. It's kind of fun.
Right.
I use a lot of different programs. So there's different programs I can use for what I'm looking for that day. And so I actually enjoy the editing, but I guess most YouTubers don't.
I think I enjoy editing for other people, but when it's just me talking, or when it's like an hour and a half of, me talking with other people, and then 5 hours later, I wrap an episode, I'm like, all right, I'm tired of hearing myself talk. I'm tired of hearing myself talk, but it's a little different territory for sure. I just don't think a lot of people think about the post-production part of it.
Yeah. There's a lot that goes into one video. That's for sure. I mean, depending on how in depth you want to get with the editing, or how somewhat professional you're trying to make the video look.
Yeah. I think my favorite part about your videos is the transition in, like the black screen and it fades in. That's just like a signature. I know you didn't invent it, but it's like through my feed, at least. That's how I know it's going to be one of yours.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. So, USPSA, when did you start competing in that, or how did you get into that?
So I was a member of a club that I'm no longer a member of that club now, but it's one of those clubs you pay for the yearly membership, but then you have to donate so many hours.
Yeah.
So I started donating. I was a target runner for the, I guess they call it the UBR, the Ultimate Bench Rest. Basically they're long range precision shooters.
Mm-hmm.
When I was there, I met a guy named Glenn, which he's passed away now, but he shot 3-gun. And he said, you should come to a 3-gun match with me. And I'm like, okay, what do I need? He's like, well, you need a shotgun, you need a pistol, and you need a rifle. I was like, okay.
You need 3 guns.
And yeah. So I'm like, okay, I think I got that covered. So I ended up meeting him early one morning before the match started. And I had a good time. It was fun. I don't shoot 3-gun anymore. I think I hate the downtime between shooting a stage, and it's like it's forever.
Yeah.
And while I was there, I met my best friend Keith, and he said, "You want to go shoot a USPSA match?" And I said, "Well, what's USPSA?" And he told me. He said, "You only got to have a pistol." And I was like, "Okay, cool." So we used to go to this place called Dog Valley, which was over Piqua area, I think, of Ohio, which it's gone now. It's shut down. And I just instantly fell in love with it. We got over there, and I actually shot before now I shoot PCC division pretty much 95% of the time. But back then when I was carry optics, and I saw a guy shooting about five shooters in, I see this guy walking up there with an AR, and I'm like, what's that guy doing? He's like, he's getting ready to shoot. And I said, well, I understand that. Well, I got a rifle and all of us have handguns, And he goes, it's called the PCC division. And I was like, I want to do that. I don't want to shoot this pistol anymore. So I shot my first match in carry optics, and then after that, I switched to PCC, and I don't shoot as much USPSA anymore. I think I only ended up shooting like 3 matches last year because
That's
the
3 more
YouTube
than
thing
me.
took off, and then you start working with all these companies and traveling to all these shows, and then it was like it kind of went on the back burner. But I'm going to try to do it a little bit more this year.
Yeah.
Season kicks off here in April, but and I'm a terrible USPSA shooter, but I like the practice.
Yeah.
I don't like standing static all the time, just shooting at a target.
Right.
And I think that was the thrill for me in competitive shooting, was being able to run and shoot around these barriers and walls and barrels. And that's what hooked me. I never really had any desire to, make master or make a GM or anything like that. But I remember, I think the first year I was shooting 3 or 4 matches a month. I mean, sometimes I'd go one place on Saturday and the next place on Sunday. I couldn't get enough of it.
Yeah.
And because it was just stuff that I couldn't do at any other gun range.
Yeah.
And then the people you meet. I mean, I've made such, great friends shooting competition. And, I like the brotherhood of it too myself,
Yeah, you've been to way more matches than me because I've honestly taken like the last 2 years off since my shoulder surgery. It's been hard to restart, but I've never met one person at a match that's a douche. To be honest, everybody's super nice and friendly and will, at the drop of a hat, be out there to help you as long as you're safe.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I have to agree with you. I know when I was first, after the first couple matches, when I started to understand the rules and I started to understand like people's rankings, like I would try to find a squad that didn't have any GMs or even A-class shooters on it. Cause I'm like, I don't want to be around those guys. They're on a whole different level. And then I finally realized, shoot with as many of those guys as you can, because you're always going to learn something. And then I couldn't believe how helpful they are.
Yeah.
I mean, one guy that comes to mind is like Andrew Hyder. He's a GM and open. You will always see him helping other shooters there, especially if he knows it's their first or second match.
Yeah.
He's always telling them, do this, do that. And that's really cool to see, especially somebody on his level that's willing to help people out like that. So
and
it's a great community.
Yeah, I think more people need to hear that. I try to tell people all the time who they seem interested in the competition part of shooting, but they don't want to make a fool of themselves. And as we know, you just have to go out and do it and realize that it's not as bad as you think it is.
No, it's not. And it's like I've told people too, it's those guys that are GMs, they don't care about how bad you shoot or how good you can shoot. They're in competition with the other GM that's on the squad with them. I
was going to say, what do they have to be mad about? They're already better than you.
Yeah. So yeah, it's super cool. And I like the range that I'm doing most of my filming at now. I wouldn't even have the opportunity to film at that range if it wasn't for shooting USPSA matches at that club. That's how I got in there. So
you gain some credibility as a shooter and a person before you.
Yeah. And it's, that's a great thing. Cause now I'm in the position where when I show up at the range, I take a bay, park my truck out there, and no one can get in that bay with me all day. That's my bay. And I can film it, because 3 months ago, I'm basically shooting at a public range. So if somebody shows up, I'm packing up cameras and I got to go. And
that's frustrating.
There's days that I got 10 minutes into filming and boom, somebody shows up, and it's, that whole day's wasted then.
Yeah. And you can't really tell them to leave because you're shooting a YouTube video.
Yeah.
Are you still rocking the, when you do shoot, are you still rocking the Ruger?
Yeah. I'm still running that.
Yeah. I saw the interview you were talking about earlier. You started off with a Keltec.
Yeah, when I was I was on Jason's show. Yeah, that was what I had, and I shot that for a year and a half, I believe, before I switched over to that. I would like to eventually go with an AR9, and I think Corey Katz will be able to help. He's kind of helped me along this because he's another lefty like me. So
I
it's
didn't know
really hard to find ambi lowers.
I was going to say you're wrong-handed and you're a gun guy. It's the worst.
Yeah, it's really hard to find. There's not that many ambi lowers out there that run on Glock mags. So
yeah. Speaking of Glock mags, sorry to interrupt. I just remembered Martinson told me to ask you when the review for the Platypus was coming. That's what he wanted me to ask you. So I wanted to get that in there before I forgot.
I wouldn't mind getting one. I've shot them at range days, and they are nice. I didn't know they were made here in Ohio either.
Oh, they are? What's the name of the company?
An Ohio company.
It's a 2011 that takes Glock mags, right?
Yes, the Platypus.
Platypus, yep.
Yeah. I'm trying. Somebody asked me the other night what the one was that runs on the SIG 320 mags, and I still can't think of the name of that.
I just saw that gun because that gun drummer guy and Twista did that video, and he has like 2 of those, and I can't remember the name of it.
Oracle. That's
Oracle.
It.
Yeah.
Yeah. Finally. Yeah. Somebody hit me with that the other night. I'm like, man, I can't think of it. I've even done interviews with those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really nice, especially now they have like the commander carry size out now too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't know why they would, wait until I start getting into Berettas to start making 2011s that take polymer Glock and 320 mags, but whatever. I'm glad they're doing it now, but I'm just saying they could have been doing it the whole time. Anyway.
Yeah, especially with the cost of the 2311 magazines. I think the Checkmates are like one of the cheapest ones you can get, and you're still
like $60, $70, something crazy.
Yeah, I've got a Night Stalker coming here in a couple weeks, and but luckily I've got my double stack Rock Island, and I got a lot of MBX mags for it, so I'll be able to run those mags in that gun. But I don't know if I would have bought a 2311 if I would have had to. I knew I had to go buy 3 or 4 mags for it too. So
yeah. Have you had guns sent to you for a review, or I'm assuming optics?
Yeah. So I'm working with. I have now. I'm working with Anderson now out of Anderson Manufacturing. And I'm working with. I just got my first gun from EAA, so I'm doing some stuff with them. And the most exciting one was getting in on the ground floor with Ross Martin.
Oh yeah.
So I met Stephanie at SHOT Show back in January, and had a nice conversation with her at the booth. And then after a couple weeks after SHOT, her and I were communicating back and forth, and she said, "Let me get one out to you to the channel. I want you to start doing videos with it." So, but yeah, I didn't have any gun companies I was working with until, well, I shouldn't say that. The Anderson thing kind of has been in progress before SHOT, but that was one of my goals for SHOT Show 2024. I was like, I got to get in with a couple gun companies because this channel's getting really expensive really quick. So.
Yeah, I bet it is. And how does that happen? I'm sure it's different for everybody, but like your first couple sponsors, does it start with affiliate things, or do they just see proof of your channel growing, or is it networking?
Yeah, I think everybody's probably going to have a little bit of a different story of how they got started. For me, the first company to sponsor me was Monstrum Tactical. And they didn't even know I had a YouTube channel. They actually had found me on Instagram.
Okay.
And I got an email from Chris he's still with Monstrum, Chris Tran. He sent me an email. He said, we want to send you an optic and let you kind of do your thing on Instagram with it. And I was like, okay, that's cool. And he goes, this is how it works. I send you an optic. These are the hashtags I want you to use. We would like to get at least, I think it was like 6 pictures a month with the, I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, well, that's a piece of cake. I can do that in a day, you know?
Right.
And, but I remember saying to him, hey, I have a YouTube channel. Uh, I can do a review and like an unboxing video and then go out and take it out and do a review video with it. His response then was, I don't care what you do with it, just as long as you do the Instagram thing. And I was like,
Just
oh,
take
okay.
6 pictures. Yeah.
Yeah. So I got it and I did the pictures. And because that's kind of what I started out doing was gun photography before I got into YouTube.
Yeah.
I took some pictures and I did the unboxing video and I did the review and I sent him links to it. And he emailed me back. He goes, that was pretty cool. He goes, we're going to send you some more stuff. So
Oh, cool.
I'm still working with them today. I'll probably always have loyalty to them. I mean, being my very first sponsor.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, they were my first sponsor, first affiliate where I started selling, products for them.
Yeah.
Everything, it all works out. Like sometimes when you're a member of AvantLink, which is what I use with Monstrum, other companies will just find you on there and they'll email you direct and say, hey, we think you're a good fit for us.
Yeah.
The other big thing is just getting to the shows, going to SHOT Show, going to NRAM, going to the Great American Outdoor, go to as many shows as you can if you're a content creator.
Yeah.
And basically form a friendship with the industry people.
Yeah.
Because you have to, the industry people, they need us and we need them. Like they need the YouTubers to get their product videos out there. It's cheap advertising.
Oh yeah.
We've talked about this before, like, running an ad saying American Rifleman for the NRA. I have no idea what that costs. I'm sure it's super expensive.
Right.
You could probably send 10 guns to 10 different YouTubers cheaper than what that one ad costs.
Exactly.
And get more eyes on it. So YouTube marketing is it's a big thing. And communicating with there's a lot of guys that I've sat and had dinners with and stuff that I've worked with, and they say, sometimes we have to tell these guys, hey, this is how we want this review done. Or, we don't want you just throwing out a 2-minute video. We want.
Yeah.
And so the big thing is do something quality for them. And, if you're running a week behind or, they wanted the video in March and you may not get it out till April, as long as you're communicating with them,
right,
they're super cool. So I do that with about everybody I work with. I'll send them an email and say, hey, this is what's been done so far. There's 4 posts on Instagram, 5 on Facebook, 2 videos up on YouTube. And they appreciate that.
I bet they do.
Because they
yeah.
know that you're taking things seriously. And I'm pretty much every company I started working with, I haven't lost any of them yet. I'm still with them now. So
that's great. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure they appreciate that. At least you're aware of the idea that you're working on something. But who would you say inspired you the most as a gun tuber, if you will? I'm sure it's a culmination of a bunch of people, but.
Yeah, I think when we first start out, we're always everybody starts out watching the big channels. You watch Honest Outlaw, you watch IV88, Hickok. The longer you spend on it, I think you start to watch more of the smaller channels. And I think because you appreciate them more. But I would say Mr. Big Kid's a big inspiration for me. I love his editing style.
Yeah.
He's just a phenomenal film guy. And because I'm always trying to top my last video. I'm like, okay, this intro was cool, but I think I can top it in the next video. And so I really study his intros and things like that because he's just awesome.
Yeah.
To have those type of skills that he has. Um, but yeah, he definitely inspires, I think, like the filmmaker side of my channel. Shooter wise, I watch a lot of. Um, I like watching Mike from Tactical Considerations. He's
Oh
an
yeah.
amazing shooter. And a lot of them, I just watch a lot of the guys on USPSA guys that have YouTube channels. It's just, they're on just a different level of speed and accuracy.
Right.
So
Were
yeah,
you were putting out videos before YouTube Shorts existed, weren't you?
yeah, I was
Now, how have they been for your channel for viewership for you anyway?
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's a demographic thing. Obviously, it's the younger people.
Yeah.
Early mid 20s and younger. Uh, that's what they want to see. They want to see shorts.
Yep. Yeah.
Your
30 seconds is
content.
too long. 31
Yeah.
seconds is too long, I should say.
So you can go into your analytics on the studio app and you can see what's doing good. Like normally my content videos, they're doing good with people 40 and up.
Mm-hmm.
Shorts are doing better with the younger crowd.
Yep.
Um, there's a lot of YouTubers that hate shorts. There's a lot of YouTubers that hate content. I mean, for me, I think you just have to balance the two. You,
Mm-hmm.
you kind of have to have both.
Yeah.
So for me, I mean, from the industry side, obviously they want to see content,
Right.
because they're
They
sending
want to
you
see
a
watch
product.
hours and
Yeah. And
understandable.
so they're not going to want to send you a $400 optic and get a 30-second short from you out of
Right.
that.
Right.
They want to see a video.
Right.
But my thing is with shorts, and my logic could be completely wrong, but if I can get 10 new subscribers from a short,
Mm-hmm.
and one of those 10 people wants to watch my content,
Exactly.
well, over time, it will balance itself out. That's kind of my way of looking at it. So
yeah, I mean, besides my occasional meme things, I post, I see it more like like a fishing net, like bringing people in. And like you said, maybe 1 out of 10 people will watch the actual content. And for me, I post an hour and a half episode and I take snippets from that. So I'm recycling the same stuff anyway. All the comments indicates to me that most people don't watch the full video because they take everything out of context. But that's the risk you run when you're talking crap on the internet and you only have 15 seconds to say it. But
you
yeah,
had a huge jump though in your views.
Yeah.
I remember like when you hit 90,000, and didn't you guys just hit 500,000, didn't you?
Yeah, just hit 500,000.
Yeah. So, and that was in a pretty quick amount of time.
It seems like when you post controversial things, believe it or not, people see more of it, and the things that, the nice things that you want them to see for whatever reason, the algorithm doesn't want them to see it. So it's a numbers game,
Yeah, I always said if I added in more 2A politics to my channel, I'd probably be double the size that I am. But
right. Well, I appreciate the slower grind. I think it's worth it at the end to not be a polarizing figure for you,
Yeah, and I'm just it's not my game either.
Right.
I would be putting on such a fake thing if I was trying to do that, because it's just not. There are channels out there that are great at it,
right?
And I let those guys do that. Let me do what I want.
Yeah, let them do that. I mean, did you ever was being a gun tuber? I don't know if you like that word or not, but is that is that something you ever saw coming at all? I mean, in the back of your mind, interest at all? Just okay.
No, because the other part of the story of during COVID was I was running. I was a co-owner of a plumbing company with my dad.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of time for us to go our separate ways. And which, and everything's fine. We have a great relationship and everything, but um, not only did I decide to start a plumbing company from scratch during COVID, I decided, well, let's start a YouTube channel too. So
let's take it all in.
I think the stress of starting up a new business was really getting to me, and the YouTube was kind of the outlet for that. Okay, hey, all right, you had a rough day at work. Let's go to the gun range and blow off some steam, have some fun. And I'm glad it all happened the way it did. But to answer the question of did I ever think, honestly, I mean, I never would have. If you would have told me when I started my channel that I'd be where I'm at now and having all these sponsors, and the other night I'm sitting on the couch with my wife, and I'm on the phone with the CEO of a gun company, and it's just like, if you'd have told me that kind of stuff was going to happen 2 years ago, I'd have laughed at you. So um I never had any intentions of doing it. It was just kind of a thing like, let's go try it.
Yeah.
But I never had expectations for it. I just wanted to make some videos. And then now it's actually starting to turn a little bit of money over, and there's more and more companies coming in each month, and now I'm just thankful I did it now.
Yeah. I'm thankful you did it too.
Well, thank you.
Is there any big plans for the future?
Yeah, I think this year's going to be pretty exciting. Going to GunCon for the first time. I've never been to GunCon yet, so that's the one John Patton puts on from the Gun Collective. Going to be pretty cool just to see Brownells too, like be inside the building and go to their range. And so I got that coming up. I believe that is in June. And then I'm going to TriggerCon for the first time.
Where's that at?
That's Wichita.
Okay.
So really excited about that one. That'll be more of an opportunity. I like the events because it's great to like start up relationships with new companies, but it's also fun to finally get to be with your YouTube buddies, in person and hang out with them for a few days.
Yeah.
And then I'm super excited about the Gun Owners of America is going to have their very first event this year, which will be in Tennessee. So that's in August. So yeah, it's going to be a busy year. I got GunCon in June or July. Then we have the GOA is in August, and then TriggerCon is in September, I believe. And then it'll be time to start gearing up and getting ready for SHOT Show next year.
Was that the first time you went this past January? Or have you been there before?
That was my second one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you get the funk that everybody talks about, or did you stay clear?
I did in 23. I didn't get it this year. I got lucky. But yeah.
50-50.
I couldn't believe how many of us got sick coming back.
Yeah.
Have you been out there?
No, I haven't. I kept I should have went when Andy was going to have me go out with High Point a couple times, and Scott and them, or Martinson, but haven't went. I should, maybe one day, but kids and life and Vegas in the middle of winter is.
Yeah, it'd be kind of cool. Like if you could get the guys at High Point to let you maybe set up some of your.
That's why I wore their shirt today.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that would be cool.
I mean, because I got friends of mine, that's what they do. They take their like portable podcasting equipment and they set up and they do stuff right there at the booths.
That would be cool.
So that would be super cool.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get into some more of that. I want to do some not really man on the street stuff, but some just mobile. I have a little setup, but I want to do some more just quick 20-minute interview type deals. So
yeah.
So that would be cool. And by the way, man, I love your backdrop.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. That was a pretty cool wall.
Yeah. For those only listening, it's a gun wall.
And then, the wife ordered the sign for me. So
nice.
Yeah. She's been a big supporter of this too, which really helps because
that's good to hear.
Yeah. At first I thought, gonna end up getting divorced because of this, but
Like,
she's been a big supporter of it. She loves going out to SHOT Show with me, so it's nice to be able to have her out there with me for the whole week out there too. So
that's good to hear, because it's a hard sell when you're like starting a brand new business and then I'm doing this gun thing, and but it's good to hear. I mean,
yeah.
was the first couple of weeks of the YouTube thing like, what are you doing playing with your camera and your guns out there? No, that's awesome.
I think she thought I was crazy at first when I said I was gonna go to the range and start filming, but yeah, now she sees it like, okay, well, he's doing something with this, and and she loves Vegas, so she gets to head out there with me. She's all about it.
Yeah.
So
There's some incentive there. So
yeah,
that's good. That's awesome, man. Well, I hope people hear this, and the people that want to put content out there and but they're too nervous to do it, or they don't know where they start. Would you say the thing that I tell people is just do it and see what happens? You never know what's going to happen.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I can't recommend it enough. It's if you don't like it, you can always just click the kill button there on that YouTube channel, and shut it down. Or um, and the biggest thing I try to tell people is, especially the younger ones, when they first start out, is like they start to let the comment section get to them. I said, you can't do that. You got to have thick skin if you're going to be here on YouTube. And it doesn't matter if it's a gun channel, electronics channel, whatever. You're always going to have people, the keyboard warriors, I call them.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure 50% of them are bots, because sometimes I don't know how half the comments could be that stupid. And I'm talking about YouTube Shorts, but anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, it's that's a daily thing for me. I mean, you're going to get 10 great comments. You're going to get people that are going to say, oh man, I didn't know about this part, or I didn't know you could do this or do that. And those are the comments you want, but you're always going to get that. You're going to get one or two a day. And it's either you can fight with them and argue with them. I don't have time for that. I got a lot of friends on YouTube that they'll go back and forth with these people for a couple hours. I'm like, no, I'm just like, hide them from my channel. Like, I'm done with you, you know? And then there's ones you get a comment once in a while where you did something wrong and they called you out on it. And, then you got to own up to it. Now, I don't have a problem doing that. That
is the risk of putting yourself out there. So,
oh yeah. Yeah. I've got 1,600 videos up now, if you factor in all my live streams, content, shorts, and I've made mistakes in some of those videos, and it's just, you got to own up to it.
You don't dirty delete the videos, do you?
Huh?
You don't dirty delete the videos, do you?
No. No.
Yeah.
Now, I can't even remember what the last thing was that I goofed up on. Well, the suppressor cleaner video, when I did that for Breakthrough Clean, I really blew that one. And it was funny because I was hanging with them at SHOT Show this year, and Eric, the owner, he still laughs about that video. And I even made fun of myself in the interview at SHOT Show. I was like, here, I said, now we got the owner of the company. He'll actually show you guys how to do this the correct way.
Yeah.
So, I didn't know anything about suppressors. They'd sent cleaner, and I had Devin over here with me from Spectre Solutions. We're down in the basement, and I'm like, what do you want to? He goes, what do we do here? And I was like, I don't know. Let's take this can apart and we'll start spraying everything down. So
it's about how I would be if I was messing with a suppressor. So,
Yeah. I still don't own one.
I don't either.
I need to.
I want to. It's one of those things where I don't want to wait a year and then 10 years passed and I'm still at zero. You know what I mean? So
yeah. Yeah. I enjoy shooting them, but it's like, I'm the same way you are. I'm kind of one of them people, when I go to the store, I want to take it home with me right away. So
right. Yeah, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole per se, but it wouldn't be that hard to do a NICS check on a suppressor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd be okay.
Well,
I'd be okay with that.
That's my thing, is like, it should just be the same way it is. Well, technically it shouldn't be that way, period.
Right.
But like,
right.
There's no reason that if the background check system that they have now, the next check is good enough for a gun, it should be good enough for a suppressor.
Yeah.
And if it's all about the $200, well, then we should still be able to
just pay the $200.
If that's all you care about, well, then we'll pay it that day and let us take our suppressor home.
Yeah.
It's like,
if it pleases the crown.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's a racket, and I did see here the last couple of months that people have been like, yeah, we've been getting our, the turnaround's only been a week or
quick.
2 weeks, but that's not going to last forever. It'll go back to the way it was eventually.
Probably about the day you decide to actually get one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Well, hey man, I really appreciate you jumping on here and finally getting a chance to talk to me. It's been awesome to have you on. I do want you, if you take a minute, if you want to shout out sponsors, or I'm going to put a link to your channel below, but if you want to shout out where people can find you, I'd love to throw that up.
Yeah. I've got the Chris from the 740 YouTube channel, same on Facebook and Instagram. And I got a website, chrisfromthe740.com. You can go there, and I post weekly deals there with all the companies I work with. Companies I want to shout out, Gideon Optics has been big supporter of mine here. Anderson Manufacturing, Monstrum, Breakthrough Clean. I can't get into all of them, but there's a lot. But they're all on my website, all the companies that I work with. And thanks a lot, man, for having me on. This was a great time.
Appreciate it, man.
Really appreciate it.
I like to do maybe a few months or so, year, whatever. We'll do an update, see how everything's going. So,
yeah, and you're welcome to come on my chat anytime you want. So
I should do that.
Yeah.
All right, brother. We'll take it easy.
Thank you.
Thanks.